You think you finna catch Lil Durk on Love and Hip Hop? You think you finna catch Chris Brown on there? You think you even finna catch Fantasia on that motherfucker?
Boosie really stepped in trying to cape for GloRilla in the middle of her messy family drama, right? He said he was only offering his 2 cents about how artists should manage their money. But hold up, GloRilla's sister was not here for that narrative. She jumped on live and basically dismantled his credibility in real time.
Jeez, I'm saying though, y'all want the clout to die. Y'all gotta stop talking about me for it to...
She didn't just respond, she torched him. She called him washed, clowned him for starring in low-budget Tubi movies, and even dragged him for being a grown man pushing 60 but dressing like a teenager. Girl, it was ruthless. What started as a simple family disagreement quickly turned into a full-blown public execution that had the whole internet locked in. The way she aired him out? Yeah, social media is not letting that fade anytime soon. But hold up, let's spin the block for a second, because this didn't explode out of nowhere. There's way more going on behind the curtain than what folks caught in those quick viral clips. What actually happened runs a lot deeper than the timeline people saw while scrolling. So let's break it down properly. The complete timeline, no sugarcoating.
I want to speak on something right quick. I ain't siding with GloRilla, I ain't siding with GloRilla, but I do want to say...
To really understand how this spiraled, we've got to rewind to early February 2026. GloRilla was on top of the world, Grammy-nominated, chart-topping records, moving like a certified boss. The Memphis rapper had officially leveled up out of the struggle, or at least that's what it looked like from the outside. She built her brand on that came-from-nothing narrative, growing up broke in Memphis, battling family hardships, and pushing through pain to make it big. But on February 4th, 2026, the whole story flipped when GloRilla's own sister put their family business on blast. Her sister, Victoria Woods, known online as Scarface, went live on Facebook with one mission: to call out her superstar sibling for allegedly leaving the family behind. And listen, Scarface did not tiptoe around it. This wasn't a subliminal or a slick caption. She went straight for the jugular. She called GloRilla by her real name, Gloria, and started dropping accusations so heavy that the comments were picking sides before the live even wrapped. And she didn't ease into it either. She went straight to the core. Scarface claimed GloRilla built her entire image off their shared struggle, talking about growing up broke in Memphis and surviving pain in every interview and lyric. But behind closed doors, according to her, none of that translated into help for the family. She alleged their mother is still working long warehouse shifts at FedEx, while her daughter is out here signing million-dollar deals and living in a head-to-toe designer. Just sit with that for a second. Your sister is Grammy-nominated, headlining festivals, rocking luxury brands, securing major endorsements, and your mom is still clocking in on a warehouse floor. That kind of contrast makes people pause. But then it got messier. Scarface dropped a bomb that had everybody's jaw on the floor. She claimed GloRilla bought their dad a Jaguar for appearances, even though, in her words, he's broke and living in a roach-infested house. That accusation detonated online. People were stunned. She essentially said the luxury gifts were just for Instagram optics. Meanwhile, the real conditions back home allegedly hadn't changed at all. Scarface called it fake love instead of real support. Then she twisted the knife with the most emotional part of the whole rant. She said, "So I say again, Gloria, you know how we struggled, you know how we were neglected, you know how we were mistreated, and you don't reach back for not one of us." You could hear the hurt through the screen. It wasn't just anger, it was heartbreak. This wasn't only about money, it was about feeling erased by someone who once stood in the same struggle with you. And then she dropped another hit. It's been 4 years. 4 years my brother out here doing DoorDash. Each word sounded sharper than the last. Imagine watching your sister rise to fame for 4 straight years while you're still grinding to survive. Your brother is delivering food, your sister is collecting 6-figure checks per show. That contrast? Yeah, the internet felt that.
But the moment that really sent shockwaves came right after that. Scarface brought up their brother, who's on the spectrum. And listen, that's when the internet lost it. She said, "You don't even do anything for our autistic brother. I know he didn't do anything to you. We have an autistic brother and you don't even help him." The second those words left her mouth, everything shifted. This wasn't just messy sibling drama anymore. It hit a nerve. because one thing the public does not like to talk about is family, especially a sibling with special needs. That kind of allegation, it's heavy. Claims like that can damage a public image overnight. And once that clip started circulating, the timeline split in two instantly. Some people sided with Scarface, saying, if GloRilla's making millions, why is the family still struggling? Why is their mom still working? Why is the brother doing DoorDash? For a lot of folks, it just didn't make sense. But then others jumped in like, hold up, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Family dynamics can be complicated. Maybe GloRilla offered help that wasn't accepted. Maybe she's been supporting them quietly without posting about it. Or maybe there's long-standing tension the public knows nothing about. Still, GloRilla wasn't about to let that narrative spiral unchecked. Later that same day, hours later, not days, she responded. But instead of going live or typing out an emotional essay, she did something smarter. She dropped receipts. And in the social media era, receipts are currency. GloRilla posted what appeared to be a text message from her mom, and that's when things escalated again. The message thanked her for everything she's done and said she's always shown up for the family. That single screenshot flipped the storyline, because now Mama Woods was indirectly contradicting Scarface's claims. Suddenly, this wasn't just about money or fame. It was mother versus daughter, sister versus sister, a public family fracture playing out in real time. That text made it seem like GloRilla had been helping consistently and privately all along. It suggested the support was real, even if it wasn't broadcast online. But ironically, that receipt only made the internet more divided. Now people were asking, was Scarface exaggerating for attention? Was Mama Woods protecting her superstar daughter's brand? Or does each family member have a completely different definition of what help looks like? Then, the very next day, February 5th, GloRilla made another move, and it was icy. She posted a link to Indeed.com on her Facebook page. If you know, you know. Indeed is a job search site. That was her subtle way of saying, go get a job, without typing a single direct insult. The shade, surgical. That post spoke volumes. It felt like she was done arguing and ready to move forward. But she wasn't completely finished. She also reshared a post from her cousin Lena Harris, who stepped up publicly in her defense. Lena posted screenshots of messages showing GloRilla checking in, asking about relatives, sending money when needed, and staying connected despite her hectic career. Those receipts suggested GloRilla hasn't abandoned anyone. She's just handled things off camera. Now the family is split publicly. Some backing GloRilla, others are riding with Scarface, and the internet playing detective in real time. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get more chaotic, Boosie Badazz decided to weigh in.
You already know Boosie Badazz never stays silent when culture drama pops off. Whether it's Lil Nas X, Zaya Wade, R. Kelly, or whoever's trending, he's going to speak. But the second he stepped into this GloRilla situation, the temperature changed. He tried to ease in, sounding neutral. But listen, the moment he started talking, the spark was lit. Boosie jumped online with that classic disclaimer. I ain't siding with GloRilla, and I ain't siding with the sister, and you already know what comes after that. Anytime somebody says they're not picking sides, they're absolutely about to lean somewhere. Still, he positioned himself as the voice of logic and started breaking down the money side of the music industry in a way most fans don't understand. He kept it simple. People assume rappers are drowning in cash, but the reality is very different. The perception versus the truth of hip-hop wealth completely warped. Boosie said, every artist you think got 50 million ain't got 50 million. Every artist you think got 100 million ain't got 100 million. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. He explained that when fans hear about a $10 million deal, they imagine that whole amount sitting untouched in a bank account. But that money gets sliced up. Labels, managers, producers, lawyers, and then taxes take their cut. By the time the artist sees what's left, it's nowhere near the headline number. Add security, flights, glam, entourage, lifestyle expenses, and that superstar image starts costing serious money. Then Boosie hit the internet with some math that made folks pause. He basically said, if I've got $1 million and I've got 7 siblings plus my parents, and I hand each of y'all $100,000, I'm broke. Simple math, but most people never factor that in when judging celebrities for how they handle family finances. His point was clear. Trying to financially rescue an entire extended family can drain even a large account fast. You can go from rich to struggling just trying to be everybody's superhero. Then he doubled down with a line that stuck.
If I really look out like y'all want me to look out, it's gone. That's the pressure of fame nobody talks about. Everyone expects you to save them once you make it. Nobody talks about the weight that comes with that. On the surface, his argument made sense. He was highlighting the harsh expectations placed on artists. The demand to support siblings, parents, cousins, and even people from the neighborhood can collapse you quicker than fame itself. Boosie was basically suggesting that GloRilla might not have the unlimited fortune people assume she does. He made it clear that carrying an entire family financially isn't always realistic. Then he added, "We do gotta look out too, but if we get everybody, we're gonna be broke." So yes, he acknowledged family responsibility, but he stressed there's a limit before everything falls apart. And just when it seemed like he had delivered his take and was done, the plot twisted. Scarface saw that video, and she did not see neutrality. She saw defense. In her eyes, Boosie wasn't offering perspective, he was making excuses for GloRilla, and she was ready to let the entire internet know exactly how she felt about it.